Hey, good morning, everyone. Sunday, the 7th of June, 2020. About 58 degrees when I got the dogs run. If you're sitting on the edge of your seat waiting for me being your ever flexible, always fluid, humble messenger back on the wall, giving you a response to yesterday's video, don't hold your breath. I will not dignify those comments with a response, other than to let's move on, because lots of stuff to cover here. It's going to be combobulated, disjointed. It's going to be all over the place. But let's start out with a few things. Superman, the new transhuman, part of Agenda 2030. I'm going to leave a link to a 22-minute video by Spiro. I'll tell you what, people, it's dry, but not uninteresting. It's dry, but critical. Because I've said this before, I told you that there is a universal law, and I'll give credit where credit's due, to the Creator, that requires full disclosure. Now, God the Father does nothing that isn't first revealed to the prophets that serve Him, and I think the enemies of the dark side have to follow that same rule, though often they conceal it in plain view, if you know what I'm saying. I did not originate this particular quote, but I'll tell you, it's dry and it's important. The future for humanity, people, is not human. And all these things work together. Remember, never let a crisis go to waste. Order out of chaos. I mean, we just got through the Mona Corona, stupid 19, and then we go into these riots and lootings. I mean, you just got to shake your head and go, WTF. Businesses, for example, in Minneapolis, who just got opened 2 weeks ago, are now physically shut down through fire damage. I mean, is this insanity on steroids, or what are we looking at here? I think there's answers, people, but you're going to have to search diligently to find them. And the enemy is exposing their hand, though, like I said, they seem to conceal things in plain view. One thing about these... and one more thing I should say. Look at, there's no political solution to spiritual problems. It's time for the agnostics out here to jump off the fence and get in the right camp. The atheists out there, if there's any of you left, good luck. That's all I can tell you. But it's all unfolding. It's a plan that's being unraveled. And no, we're not going to go into Revelations, because I'll tell you what, I think Revelations just might be a spurious book, a book that should not be in our Bible. But we can save that for another video some other time. Everybody has been talking about the riots and the looting. And, it is appalling to watch this on TV. But if you think about it in the big picture scheme, if you think about how my channel started 200 videos ago, I exposed to you the biggest looter and violent creating organization on the face of the earth. Yeah, the Federal Reserve System since, 1913. They are responsible for more death, destruction, violence, and looting. Looting the producers of the wealth in America, and they do it by their effortlessly created credit. You do the work, they steal it. So, it's funny. Everybody's appalled. They're mortified by what they see on their TVs. But nobody gives a shit that the Fed's been doing it to us for over 100 years. Yeah, 100-year anniversary, 2013. So that's 107 years. They are the real looters. They are the destroyers. Michael Rivera wrote a book called All Wars Are Bankers' Wars. You might want to look into it, because it is truly true. All wars are banker wars. They serve banking interests. They serve the interests of private corporations. And lest you think your United States of America is a conglomerate of 50 loose associated states where people elect their representatives to do their bidding in Washington, let me assure you this, people. Since 1871. Gee, what happened around 1871? Oh yeah, the Civil War, the war between the states ended. Kind of looking like we're having another civil war right on our doorstep, doesn't it? Let's go over here to Cornell Law School. It's a big name law school, people. Their Legal Information Institute, open access to law since 1992. Now remember, I was talking about the Act of 1871. Never heard about that in your history classes, in your boring ass history classes in grade school, high school, did you? No, there's a reason for it. Anyway, back to the Legal Information Institute of the Cornell Law School. 28 United States Code. This is codified law. 28 United States Code, Section 3002. 3002. Gee, I sound illiterate. Title definitions, and then we go down to Part 15. I'm scrolling down here. A United States in quotation means a federal corporation. How cool is that? Codified law. The United States Code is the codified law of, guess what? Yeah, the United States. How cool is that? So, when you know these little tidbits, when you know these little morsels, things do kind of make a little more sense, do they not? Okay, now, another thing this week. What is going on with President Trump? Bowser. Bowser doesn't sound like something you'd call your dog. Hey, Bowser, come here, Bowser. Who happens to be the female mayor of the District of Criminals, Washington, D.C., a federal enclave. That's important you understand that. Federal enclave, federal territory, 10 square miles. Esper, the defense secretary, and Mad Dog Mattis. Have you seen that? Trump says, I'm sending an army. Esper overrides it. Bowser kicks the National Guard out of the hotels. I ain't paying for that. Justice Department comes in and, not Justice Department, Defense Department comes in and disarms the National Guard. I mean, is this lunacy? I mean, remember in the stupid 19 pandemic, do you remember that? Arresting guys for wanting to give haircuts, arresting people for opening their businesses. And here they don't even want any National Guard presence, unarmed presence. And they're burning and rioting and looting. Insanity. I'm telling you, it's insanity. But, so Trump wants this. Secretary of Defense Esper overrides him. Bowser kicks out the National Guard from the hotels. Mad Dog Mattis throws Trump under the bus. I don't know what's going on there. You know what I mean? I know Trump's got his problems, and I'll tell you, something is really bizarre. It's really bizarre, people. Oh, and we might as well throw in Rod Rosenstein. You know, that former Assistant Attorney General of the United States, who's done no one any good. It's pretty bizarre when Tucker Carlson on Fox News says that the best advice he could give Donald Trump is to get rid of Jared Kushner and his daughter, Yael. You think you know her as Ivanka, but she's newly named Yael Kushner. Boot him out of the White House. You don't need him there. You have a Murray in the woodpile just with Jared Kushner. Pretty strange when Tucker can get away with saying that on, national TV, late night. Not mid to late night. And I'm all over this place. So, a lot of strange stuff going on there, people. I can't even give you an opinion. I know it's all part and parcel of the Agenda 2030 of the UN. I know we're looking at transhumanism on steroids. Like I said, that one quote's not mine. The future for humanity is not human. It's important, people, because whether you know it or not, you're caught up in it. You're sucked up on it. You're being drawn along in the storm. And, hey, speaking of storms, is it just me, or are economists and weathermen the only professional group of paid employees that never have to be accurate? Yesterday's weather forecast, people, was 71, winds up to 18 miles an hour. It got to 55, best I can recall, on my truck, and those winds were horrific. I mean, they don't ever get it right. These extended forecasts you're useless. Yeah, but Dave, did they not predict the thunderstorm of last night? They knew it was coming, people. They know it was coming. They are in tune to what the weather modifiers and controllers are doing. And remember this, I also told you, stratospheric aerosol injection is but one of many tools that our weather controllers can employ. EMF, you need to look into that. HAARP, H-A-A-R-P, need to look into that. Kind of old technology, but still very effective. Okay, now to the response of, because you know what I'm going to tell you. I got to cut this short. We're getting at the 10-minute mark. I got stuff to do. Let me evidence that the fact that I have stuff to do. Today, Rugby, 2 p.m., we have a scheduled event. Yeah, we're going to have a protest. They're busing them in. They're coming in by train. Now, I don't know the extent of this, but I know this for a fact, that the strategists over at Antifa, however you want to say it, are going to take it to rural America. And if you think about it, keeping your friends close, your enemies closer, it's an interesting strategy because usually rural America does not have the wherewithal and resources in law enforcement and support that major metropolitan areas do. So it's an interesting strategy. However, the good news on our side is rural America is much more heavily armed than metro America, especially in your big problematic cities like Chicago, like D.C., like New York City. So it's going to be interesting to see. I am rounding up a few of the old boys, and this might be of particular interest to people from North Dakota. Hint, hint, wink, wink, bringing my driver's license. I think you understand the significance of that point. And we're going to go down there and investigate. Now, the parade route, if you want to call it a parade, goes right by my kid's house, one of my son's house, and my other son's business. So it'll be interesting to see if anything happens, and you will get a full and detailed report tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning is also going to be Monday, June 8th. A significant anniversary occurs on June 8th every year. I'm not going to tell you today, but I'm going to encourage you to definitely watch tomorrow's video. I think some of you guys out there, you're pretty sharp. I think you know what tomorrow is. What's the anniversary date of June 8th? I won't give you the year because that'll give it away. But tomorrow, full disclosure, people. And, yeah, I got something to do. I got to get ready. I got to get to Rugby. I got to spy this out. Any guys in the area are going to come down and join us? You're more than welcome to. 2 o'clock. I think it's 2 to 6. Okay, people. Stuff to do. You guys have a good day and try to enjoy your unstable weather. Until then, I'm out of here.